Hello. Thank you, members of the council, chairman, executive director. Oops, I'm not speaking into this thing.
There we go.
I'm here, I stand before you as an advocate for children. I
Did you
too
just
am
state your name, please?
Oh,
I'm
Heidi
sorry.
Keaster. I'm a Helena resident. I also am a direct descendant of the Holocaust. A little tidbit there. But I actually am not here to discuss CRT. Buzzword. I stand before you again as an advocate for children. My adult life, I have served in the military, in war-torn countries, humanitarian efforts, worked in many cities across the United States as a nurse, and I am a case manager for low-income families. So as I was reviewing, I always review education stuff as a part of just keeping up with everything that's going on, and this kind of came up, and so I thought, well, I'm gonna talk about some stuff and see what is going on. I attend every board meeting for the Board of Education in Helena, and I look and see who's at those board meetings. And so then I started reading all this, and I first want to talk about the test scores and things like that and the income gap and all that, but then I started looking through this document and I get to the bottom and I'm like, oh, social media policy on principle 3, number H. It says social media. I'm like, okay. And then I was looking who is in charge of this document. It was the executive director, Mrs. Flynn, Miss Flynn. She doesn't have any children in the school, correct? Doesn't have any children, so Miss Flynn, excuse me. And I'm looking, I look her up on Facebook, full of partisan politics all over it. Bullock, okay? No, so I'm like, okay, you know, there's lots of teachers that are, you know, for Democrats, great, you know, not even a teacher. I don't, and as a parent of a, you know, student in the district, I don't even see that she's a teacher. So I'm like, okay, maybe she has a master's in education. Nope. Political science degree from Carroll. So I'm scratching my head how this executive director of the Montana Public Education is even in this position. And I implore her to step down and let teachers, a teacher take that position. And or maybe would be great would be a minority teacher. There's many Native American BIPOC teachers in Montana. If we're going to talk about these type of things, I'm just scratching my head, especially that I also employ her to take a look at her own Facebook when she's doing these social media things, because it makes me feel that this is all partisan. Everything on this is partisan, and this also exploits people, children, when everything becomes partisan. Yes, I am up here and I am a member of the Young Republicans, but I expect the person in these positions to be nonpartisan. And to me, I feel like when we do all this it's just an agenda. And when I look at that and I see no education background, nothing, that's all that comes to my mind. Agenda. She worked for Montana Democrat Party before she became in this position, and I don't understand that, why this isn't an educator position. And I that's basically what I'm here for. And I mean, that would be like me as a nurse going to work. Well, she was a bank teller. That'd be like me in charge of a bank. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, she's been doing, you know, I liked his comments about, you know, policies, and she informed everybody, but well, duh, she's got a political science degree. But let's talk about education. I just implore her to go to these educational meetings throughout. She's from Helena. Go to the Board of Education. Or the board meetings. Never seen her there once at all these board meetings we have in Helena. So that's my question to the board.
I appreciate your comments.
And thank you.
Off the cuff, as someone watching the proceedings and participating in the proceedings, here in Helena, we have a variety. My initial thought is that there are a variety of state agencies, all of which are run by administrators. And I think as chair, you'll see during the meetings, I rely on McCall a lot for her administrative skills. And I can't think of a time I've seen a political side to her in administering her duties. Historically, you're right. Certainly she was involved with the Democratic Party and
all over Facebook
and with the
all
governor.
over.
But
Like,
think
obsessively, like,
you'd find that in any member of, for example, former Governor Bullock's cabinet and current Governor Gianforte's cabinet. You're going to find the administrators have political backgrounds and political experience. I
but
think
her
what
policy was like abide by.
I think what we're looking for is what not I'm looking for, but the state of Montana in general is looking for people that can administer and can carry forth and administer the Board of Public Ed and the Certification Standards and Practices Advisory Council. So I appreciate your request. I find as a member of this council that Ms. Flynn is doing an outstanding job to come in months, maybe even weeks before that first legislative session and provide the quality of updates she did. I really appreciate her. I also want to say I appreciate your passion as a person in this community, as a mom, as someone who worries about education. I appreciate your passion for coming and speaking.
But she's been here 7 months. We've already got divisive stuff in all of this. Looking at it from parent, I just want my kid to go to school and have an education. I don't want politics in the school. And all her life has not shown that. It's shown Democrat, Bullock, everything. Oh, now I'm in executive, and she does. So how does that equate? That's just where I'm at, and I would like a teacher or an educator in that position, but I mean, I don't make these things.
I think I'm a very solid teacher. I couldn't even begin to step into those shoes, to be perfectly honest with you. I think it would be, there may be teachers out there that would be competent and qualified.
Well, what I see happens is these positions are used to move up the political ladder. So I bet you in 5 years she'll be running for legislation. Mark my words. She'll be running for legislation. Just like,
Okay.
so that's just where I'm at. And I implore her to come to Board of Education events in the community in Helena, sit through it. And I also saw as Dennison was giving his, she was on her phone, not listening to some of these too. And so I'm imploring her to go to educational things and all that. So,
Okay. Thank you,
thank you.
Heidi. Thank you.